We are calling it a dry spell, and we have not determined that it is a drought.
CEO Wasco, Zilda George Leslie, says the ongoing dry spell has significantly impacted its operations.
Most of our systems are beginning to dry up. So we are having a lot of rapid evaporation of our systems, and we also have very low flows in a lot of our rivers.
Wasco's systems are divided into northern and southern zones. The CEO paints a dire picture of the water sources at the Hill 20 treatment plant and the John Compton Dam.
The Talvan and the Marquis sources. Those two sources, we have seen drastic reduction in our flows in those areas, and of course this is impacting all of the customers and the residents of the Babono region, because the Hill 20 system serves the Babono region. So we are seeing that greatly impacting that region. The John Compton Dam, and we are seeing very increased evaporation. So we're getting our levels, which are our normal levels are 333 feet, which is when our spillway spills over. We are now currently, as of this morning, down to 325.
The 7 zones are said to be in no better situation.
The biggest challenge we have thus far is that persons' usage has not changed. They have not taken into consideration the reduced supply coming from our intakes. And as Ms. Leslie has already stated, we can't put drought measures in ourselves. So I would love all customers to be mindful that, especially in the south of the geography that we have, if your neighbor lives higher than you, if you doing anything with water, they will be affected. In greater detail, the areas we have the biggest effect, namely Bellevue for 80% reduction, Upper and Lower Saltibus 65 and 60%, and Fosse Jacques Souffre as much as 65% reduction. All of those areas currently have valving programs in place, and we also are currently working on complementing it with water trucking for those high elevation persons that are affected.
Wasco's advice to residents is clear.
We must conserve our water, so we have to be quite judicious in the way that we utilize water. We must not forget that we have a somewhat limited resource, so we cannot afford to be wasteful. Okay, we can't afford. So be judicious, be conservative, and think of our neighbor, because if we ever waste water, that's water that somebody else would have water that they're not getting. So just to be judicious for that time period, because as we realize, the dry season runs from December to May. We're nearing the end of April, so we have 1 more month, and May is normally the most challenging of the months.
Wasco has promised to implement community rationing programs to reduce the duration of water outages in certain areas. For further information on available resources and to contact Wasco's support team, customers can call 457-3960, 457-3958, or 451-9812, or send WhatsApp messages to 4820052.